This is not a joke. I was legitimately assigned my rank 4 Purgatory in Alliance War. I never thought this day would come. But, yeah, so anyway, the fight we're going to be using her for starts right here. I had no Section 1 path fights, because the Alliance just didn't place them on Path 2, which is what I got assigned this war. And so I'm starting off with this Node 22 Adam Warlock. And my Alliance was like, okay, well, we have Odin pre-fights, but we need an Incinerate Immune Mystic to take it. And apparently no one has Claire. So we'll just assign Purgatory here, which will be fun. So yeah, that's what we did. Purgatory in Tier 2 Alliance War. I've got to be like one of the first people to ever do that, right? I mean, seriously. This is so ridiculous, man. Anyway, so the game plan for this fight is to just try and play aggressive to keep our little charges that get us into Demonic Rampage up. We don't have to worry about the shocks hitting very hard because we have the Odin free fight, and then the Incinerates will not trigger because we have Incinerate immunity. So I'm just trying to kill him as quick as possible. I'm blocking the SP2, which I probably shouldn't be doing. I should just be trying the Dexes. I triggered his Sovereignty because I don't know why, but I just did. The Aggression Prowess is actually a lot more annoying than I initially thought it would be because I'm taking a lot more specials in the block to play it safe, and it actually kind of hurts, so that's unfortunate. But he's almost dead, but we have to re-ramp, so it's going to take a little bit longer than we'd like. And now his Stasis Pod is almost back. I got hit by that, so that's great. This is actually a pretty good placement. Like the Alliance we were facing, I actually kind of like this placement because there's not too many Incinerate Immune Mystics out there. If the opponent has Claire, then it's really going to be pretty easy, but we didn't, so yeah. We ended up using Purgatory, my Purgatory. This is just so surreal that I'm actually using Purgatory in Alliance War, man. I don't even know. But other than that, we're almost in our damage mode, and we can almost knock him down. We just need to get to our 100 charges, and we do right now. That we're going to intentionally power gen ourselves. I trigger Sovereignty again because I'm stupid. But it doesn't matter. We lost a little bit of health, but that was my only Purgatory fight. So, it didn't matter. I'm not going to have to use potions or anything. Now, second fight. This was not originally mine, but we were like 20 hours into the war, and Section 2 wasn't open. I'm like, I'm taking matters into my own hands. I'm going to get this Pyramid X down. I don't care. So I'm going to, Viv this Pyramid X, even though I'm not supposed to, because I'm such a rebel. But it's okay, because I've done this fight before, so I know what I'm doing. We originally assigned a future Ant-Man for this, but, honestly, I think Viv is almost better here. I don't know, it's kind of hard to say. I guess they're both equally pretty good, because Viv, you just do the normal rotation, and she's very, very dead. So, it's kind of hard to argue against using Viv here. But either way, we get the SP2 thrown, and now we're just building to our SP1, and then, yeah, it's game over for Pyramid X here. So, I got to take both of the shared fights before Section 2, which is really cool, because I don't ever really get to do that. But, yeah, last special one, and then big death. So, that fight is over, and now we did 22, we did 23, and now we're doing 24, because we have a Kitty Pryde here. And this fight is one of the easiest fights of my life with the armor burn attack tactic, because Kitty does not gain prowess. It's a very odd placement, because literally any armor burn character is going to make Kitty a potato here. Kind of weird, but I'm not complaining. So now we just need to get to the SP2, and we're there. We do one more combo, then throw it, and she still hasn't even reached 1 bar of power yet. She finally did after we threw our SP2. Take a decent bit of block damage there, but that's okay, because we're going to finish the fight at 90%. 91% actually, and there's so much overkill on these special attacks that it doesn't even matter. So that's fun. And so next up is my next path fight, which is Omega Sentinel on Section 2, Path 1. And this is a rather sketchy fight because it's one of those fights where, like, hey, we do not have a better option, so just viv this and do the best you can. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. And I am going to make a very grave mistake in this fight. Just an ability that I didn't know Omega Sentinel had for some reason. And I don't know how I didn't know that. It should be something I should have known, but you're going to see that I am going to do my rotation when I should have waited and done it later. And I'm going to show you what that means right here. So there are actually two things that I didn't realize. The first one is that I didn't know that Viv doesn't place an energy vulnerability if you do 4-hit combos. I, for some reason, didn't realize that it had to be 5 hits. So that was my first big mistake. I was placing no energy vulnerabilities and I didn't even realize it. The second thing that I messed up on was that I didn't know that in Omega Sentinel's Awaken ability, that if I have non-damaging debuffs on me, she gains a bunch of energy resist. Another ability that I completely didn't realize existed in a SIG ability. So apparently I need to pay more attention to SIG abilities because I am throwing my SP1 with 2 cowardice on me. And I thought, hey, a cowardice is only a 10% reduction, so I only have 20% reduced special damage. But I forgot about the part where she has energy resist per non-damaging debuff. Meaning, yeah, I do basically nothing. And now she's at 2%, and we're dead. So yeah, that's embarrassing. Just 2 abilities that I completely didn't realize exist. And of course, once again, I find the stupidest way to die when the opponent is at 2%. Just like how I died to that Kindred a couple wars ago. So there goes 4 potions. It's just so frustrating, man. I should have not thrown that SP1 with the cowardice on me. I just didn't realize. So stupid. Whatever. This fight is really easy. It's Viv versus APOC. This is my last Viv fight this war, so I can afford to use a little bit of health, lose a little bit of health. So I'm not always going to go for the parry on his SP1. I'm just going to block it. Again, another fight where the power control is just so ridiculous here from the attack tactic to where we threw an SP2 before he even reaches a bar of power. It's kind of ridiculous, but yeah, that's fun. Now we get to our SP1, we start throwing it, and then yeah, it's lights out for APOC here. We just need to throw our last SP1, and it still does a lot of overkill. So yeah, Viv in war, love it. Should have been a deathless war if I just knew better. Whatever, it is what it is. So next up, Doom on, I think this node is 46. I still cannot remember what the node numbers are for each of these fights. But this is really easy for Silk because she is never going to trigger High Energy Diet, nor is she going to trigger Burden of Might. And I think that's the only nodes that really matter in this fight. So basically, High Energy Diet, they have energy resistance, and if you inflict them with energy damage, they're just going to heal more than you actually deal. So don't do that, but Silk has no energy damage, so that's perfectly fine. And then with Burden of Might, if you trigger a buff, you're going to get power drained, and if you have a buff, you're going to have less combat power rate. Well, Silk gains no dex buff, and she has no buffs in a regular kit, therefore she's not going to get a buff this entire fight. We have the Sunder to remove Doom's crit resist, so our basic attacks hit for a lot harder. We have the Slow to prevent his aura, so this is just a textbook easy fight for Silk. This is one of the fights where I'm like, if I wanted to showcase Silk, this is one of the best ways to do it, because you can see so many instances of her utility in just that one matchup. That was such a great fight, man. But anyway, my last fight of the war is going to be this Rintrah on, I believe, 54. Again, I cannot remember numbers. But, funny thing about this one was, my officer assigned this to both me and another person who brought Silk, and was just like, hey, whoever gets it, gets it. And I'm like, okay, I want the fight. So I set an alarm for 1 a.m. in the morning so I could get the fight recorded, because when I was going to sleep, we still had 2 mini-bosses that were preventing me from getting to this dude. So I'm like, hey, 1 in the morning, they'll probably both be down, because the people who were taking the mini-bosses were from different areas of the world, and they would be playing the game just about at that time. So, again, I wake up at 1 a.m. to take this fight on my iPad, which has terrible inputs. Don't ask me why I use the iPad. Yeah, I wanted the fight, so I took it. Oh man, this sounds so stupid in hindsight, just staying up till 1 a.m. just to get one singular war fight that I didn't even have to take, but yeah, I did it. And I'm gonna basically find every single way to try and die in this fight, it feels like, because it doesn't feel good. It goes bad. I'm gonna do my normal silk things, where I do a 3-hit combo, double medium, and I get parried, and I'm like, wait, how did I get parried? I do that same combo where I do medium, light, medium, 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 into light attack into the next combo. I don't know how I got parried there. I should have had enough time. I still don't know now how I got parried there. I probably need to research some stuff with the nodes and figure out, and Rintrah's kit maybe, I don't know. I don't know how I got parried there. I should have had enough time to do my combos, but maybe I was just too slow. I have no idea. That was kind of weird. I lost my indestructible boost because of that, and 20% of my health, but we're still winning this fight by a decent bit, so I'm not feeling too bad at the moment. He's getting a lot of mystical charges, and I'm very lucky through that special attack there, because he could have punished me very badly, and that was bad. Okay, so again, I'm finding like every single possible way to try and die in this fight, it feels like. But now I have the Sunder, and I just take another combo and like, dude, this is getting ridiculous. Just, I need you to die. My evade is on cooldown, and this SP2 for some reason scares me, so I'm kind of having a panic attack right now. He keeps gaining so many mystical charges because he has enhanced ability accuracy with Aspect of Evolution. This is a great defensive placement. Props to our opponents for thinking of this one. This is actually a very smart placement because of that ability accuracy increase, and if he does get neutralize a buff, which he can't here, but if he does, then that's a lot more power gain from the node and from Aspect of Evolution. So yeah, this is a very good placement, but I did kill him. I didn't die, luckily. That was a 3-minute fight because I played it terribly and my SP3 rotation failed somehow, and I still don't know how. Anyway, that's over. I had a really cool Purgatory fight, some really good Viv fights until that last one where I just played like a moron, and then finished the war off with some decent Silk fights. One textbook perfect Silk fight, and one that was almost a disaster. But it's okay, because the war is over. We lost the war, but the war is over, so yeah. Thanks for watching, I guess. See you in the next one.